file my insurance claims properly.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's time! It's time! It's Beta time!
You are watching a master at work.
Truth Nation, get ready for the greatest 60 minutes in radio, giving you his authentic and bold opinions, bringing you all the information, entertainment, and conversations you gotta hear. From local issues to trending topics and headline news, it is time for Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube. Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is your award-winning host, Kyle Wallace.
Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, and I am your host, Kyle Wallace, host of Truth to Power on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, 833-212-1017. That is the Truth Talk to text line. You will want to join in on this conversation because just wait, it's going to be a good one. Also, watch and stream us live on YouTube, 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. That's 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. Did I sound out of breath, DJ Brother Z?
Just a little bit.
Listen, I'm tired. I've been running around, been in meetings. I've been running around up and down the stairs, and then I had to take something upstairs because I had to go grab some for our esteemed guests. The guests that I love to have. Every day. Listen, the weeks ain't going to go by fast enough. As today, as I told y'all, as part of Truth to Power, we are going to have amazing voices join us weekly on 1017 The Truth here on Truth to Power. And today, again, I have the opportunity to be joined by the incredible, the legendary Homer Blow.
What's going on with you, Brother Kyle?
Nothing, man. I'm excited just to have you here because I know usually when I do the show solo, right, I prepare differently. I prepare because I got to get myself ready to go how I want to engage and talk and discuss things, right? Get stuff off my chest.
Absolutely.
But when I have somebody with me, it's more than just me getting stuff off my chest. It's a dialogue that we have where we all just talk about important things that we feel like the community needs to know, but then also had the community share their thoughts. So make sure, again, y'all chime in on the conversation at 833-212-1017 and watch and stream us live so you can see me with the legendary Homer Blow here on Truth to Power on 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. As always, hit that subscribe button and always hit that like button. But Homer Blow, we got to talk about it. Yesterday was the primary election, and on most of our ballots, we only saw one race, and that race was the race for state superintendent, where they had three candidates running for the top two positions. We'll figure out on April 1st, on that election day for the general election, who exactly will be the state superintendent. But as we found out, I mean, I'm sure we all saw the results from the Wisconsin state superintendent race. The For the top 2 vote getters, Jill Underly, who is the incumbent, the current state superintendent, she is the first place person right now based off the vote tally with 177,000 votes. So she will advance and she will take on Brittany Kinzer, who had 161,000 votes. Jeff Wright came in third place with 128,000 votes. So we will be able to choose between Jill Underly and Brittany Kinzer to see who will be leading the Department of Public Instruction after April 1st. Will it be the incumbent or will it be the challenger, Brittany Kinzer?
Who you with?
Exactly. Who you with? I was with Jeff Wright. I voted for Jeff Wright because I didn't want Jill Underly because I think she's done an okay job. I don't feel like she's done a great enough job, and she was good enough. I mean, she's replaceable, right?
Right.
We can replace her. Brittany Kinzer, I've already said I'm not messing with Brittany Kinzer because of the fact that she gets dollars that are funded from the Republican Party. And right now with the state of politics, I don't mess with anybody that gets money from the E-Line family or anybody that gets money from Diane Hendricks as well. And then on top of that, she was the executive director at Rocket Ship School here in Milwaukee. And if you look at their test scores at Rocket Ship School, only 12% of their students are proficient in reading and 8% are proficient in mathematics. So if we want change here in Milwaukee, somebody who couldn't run a private school like Rocket Ship to make the black kids succeed, I'm not voting for her either.
Yeah, I was with Jeff as well because, again, we've seen what it has been like as it relates to how it has been. You feel what I'm saying? And absolutely. I believe we needed change. And trust me, even though, Jeff came in third place, one of the things that come up, and I'm sure we'll get into it, is it's not going to stop me from voting. And some people will say, well, see, the candidate that I wanted didn't win, so that's why I don't vote. That's why I don't vote.
Homer foreshadowing.
Yeah, man, and I'm allergic to ENC's excuses and complaints when you got a chance to make a change.
When you got a chance to make a change, and you kind of talked about, and before we kind of talk about the turnout yesterday, the other big election that was not on this ballot but will be on the ballot on April 1st, that you are going to start seeing a lot of ads, because now Elon Musk has entered the building as Brad Schimmel, the former Attorney General of the state of Wisconsin, is supporting Republican Brad Schimmel, and he gave him, I believe it was, I thought it was 200. It wasn't a million or 250,000.
I think it was like maybe was it 250?
Maybe it was 250,000.
Somebody gave 200,000, but I think he may have gave more.
Yeah, it would be low. That would be low if you only gave him $250,000. But again,
because I think
Musk
he gave him like 6 something or 7 something, like
$670,000.
I knew it. I knew it.
And Brad Schimmel says he's not for sale after Elon Musk Group dropped $1.5 million in raise. He said he's not for sale, but he took the money. That's
right.
But so just know we are going to be bombarded, and then the Democrats, don't get it twisted. The Democrats are going to support Susan Crawford. They're going to give millions of dollars. This is going to be probably one of the highest invested races or supported races, state Supreme Court races, as the balance of the Supreme Court is up. You are. I like the lights going out. That's weird. I don't like that.
And you see me sitting right here, right?
I know. I do see you sitting right there.
Teeth.
Well, now Carrie Noni Juice thinks she's a gangster. She saw somebody with it. She has a toy gun in her hand. She thinks she's a gangster. She must have seen the real gangsters at when she was in school doing stuff like that. She didn't look right.
I'm trying to tell y'all, she a thug.
Yeah, Carrie a fake wannabe thug. Carrie one of them one of them nerd kids, one of them quiet kids. But 833-212-1017, April 1st, the election will be for the general election where you have a chance to select who the state superintendent will be and then also select who the state Supreme Court justice will be. But with that being said, Homer Blow, 500,000 people, actually under 500,000, 467,000 people voted yesterday. Do you know what percentage of the voting population that is?
Between 8 to 10%.
10% of the voting population voted yesterday. 3.4 million people voted in November. And I know we're not going to get 3.4 million people to vote, but you mean to tell me we went from 3.4 million down to less than 500,000 people voting? 10% of the voting population actually voted yesterday? This is abysmal. Absolutely abysmal, Homer Blow.
Man, listen, again, there were so many people, and I kept reminding people, hey, it's election day. I didn't know. I forgot. And I'm like, these are the races that are more important than just the presidential race. Mm-hmm. These are the races that we can make a difference in our city and in our county and in our state. But yet we choose to say, I don't matter.
That's crazy. What's crazy to me is that we say, it doesn't matter. We get all riled up. And I'll be the first one to say that typically a presidential election, a lot of it is there's things on a national level that we more so think based off character, ethics, and the way that we like a lot of stuff on a national level. It does impact us, but it doesn't truly impact us. I mean, this presidency,
the orange man was elected.
This presidency has been a little bit different because probably most people know a federal worker or know somebody who knows a federal worker, and this is only the beginning. And so this one's going to be a little bit different. I think we're going to feel it a little bit different. But still on a local level, you're talking about the Department of Public Instruction that basically is the one that manages a $1 billion budget, right? Overseeing the state of Wisconsin educational funds and seeing how schools get funded, right? They play a role in trying to help fund different schools. They play a role in the standards that are set for different schools across the state of Wisconsin. So why we believe that it is more important to vote for the president, and it's important, right? But why we don't believe that it is as important or in the same area to vote for our local officials who have an impact day to day. There's a guy who, for the race to replace John Brossoff, who was the Common Council member who died by suicide, I think it was at the end of last year it was, a race to replace him. And, I mean, the results for that were also abysmal here in Milwaukee, where I believe you had less than, 5,000 total votes. You had the guy that won had 1,600 votes. Second place guy had 1,500 votes, and then the guy who came in third place had 1,500 votes as well. Just a little bit different. And then after that, you got to combine probably less than 1,000 votes there. And so when you look at that race, that's the Common Council, and the dude that won is a socialist. He's part of the Democratic Socialist Party, right? And so he wants to get rid of re-energies. So, these are the people that get elected when you only have 1,000 people that vote.
Right, real talk. And again, that's why I say have several seats. If you came up with any kind of excuses to it don't matter, ain't nobody going, ain't none of them going to do nothing and this, that, and the other. And I tell people all the time, if you know people that are running for office, are you saying that you don't have faith in them to do the right thing? That's basically what you're doing. You taking a crap on them.
You basically are taking a crap on them. And the thing is now what we do is we love to complain. Right, we love to point the fingers. We love to complain about what ain't happening or what they did, but you didn't use your voice. And so I always tell people, you don't vote, shut up. Right. I'm legit. Yesterday, I was numbered. I want to know this, Truth Nation. Text it in, 833-212-1017, or you can hit us up on YouTube. Watch and stream us live on YouTube as I am joined by the legendary Home Blow today here on 101.7 The Truth and Truth to Power. But make sure you watch and stream us live on YouTube. I want to know what number you were. What number were you yesterday? What time did you vote? Because I went to vote Homer. I voted at right before 6 o'clock. I was number 45. I was number 45 at 6 o'clock going to vote.
Little after 6, 24.
24 little after 6. That's just terrible. That's terrible. How is it possible that we talking about a big election and throughout the day, 45 people, they're open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Right.
You're barely getting more than 3 people an hour.
And you can legally take off from work to go vote.
Ain't that
so
the
you
truth?
Can't even use that as an excuse.
That it is, and I just don't understand how when we look at this, we're talking about so few people that saw voting wards in Milwaukee. In the ward next to it, because where I vote at, there's multiple wards, they were at less than 40. Because I looked over there at the sticker, they had less than 40 people that had voted in that ward. So you're talking about in a building with 2 wards, you had less than 100 people that had voted. Really less than 70 that had voted. A little over 70 based off my math.
How much does the superintendent have control over financially?
I mean, I believe their budget is I think they have a $9 billion budget.
$9 billion, and you don't give a damn who's in charge of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
And that's really helping the kids.
It plays a huge role in the kids. I mean, you're talking about yesterday, Tony Evers talked about giving them an additional up to $4 billion, I think, in additional funding. So if they do get that $4 billion or any kind of billions dollars of funding, how can we vote for somebody who has our true best interest for our students? Right. And one thing I will say is that it seems that Tony Evers was the previous state superintendent. It seems to me that Milwaukee has not been treated unfairly. Matter of fact, I think Jill Underly was a little bit too nice to Milwaukee MPS, to be very specific, because of the fact that she allowed for MPS to be late on stuff and didn't tell the citizens before we voted. But then on top of that, I believe the MPS not turning in their stuff held up the overall funding that they sent out, which impacts districts across the state. Like at a certain, we got to hold people accountable. And so I don't think they've been unfriendly to Milwaukee, but I think we need to make sure that we're voting for people who will continue to think about how can we hold MPS to certain standards and make sure they're holding themselves accountable, because them not turning in a paperwork on time is inexcusable.
Absolutely.
It's a fireable offense at a lot of jobs.
And everybody that wants to be mad and upset about this and that, these are your chances to go out and change the narrative. And if you don't get out and vote, how we gonna be in the same situation?
Exactly.
And again, the excuse, well, I voted last time and my candidate didn't win.
Who cares?
Right.
It's about when you gonna lose. You gonna lose a lot of elections.
Your kid gonna piss you off.
Yeah.
But do you stop? Is it still your kid? It's still your kid.
Exactly. But you definitely got to utilize your voice to vote. 833-212-1017. Brian, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. You say you had a comment on elections.
Yeah, I got a comment. What it goes to show is that the parents of Milwaukee do not care about the kids, do not care about their own kids.
Yeah.
If they don't go out and vote for change, I hate using the word change. If they don't vote for certain things to get done, they don't care about their kids, and it's symptomatic of their test scores. We have an epidemic of bad parents in Milwaukee. That's just the way it is. They're just trash. Upside every corner of Milwaukee, you got bad parents. Period. I could say a few other choice words about the parents, but they have been so neutered and so beat down that they beat down and neutered their own children just because of the fact that they won't vote. And it's symptomatic in every percentage or every opinion that you give throughout the city. Now, I don't have a dog in the fight. That's why I didn't necessarily vote.
No, see, Brian, stop it. Stop it. You do have a dog in the fight, because if you care about, I didn't have a dog in the fight. I ain't got kids. Matter of fact, I got family members who are MPS. But the thing is,
all my kids are grown.
That's fine. But you got neighbors, you got friends.
Hang on. But do your kids got kids?
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
But
that's all I'm saying. You got to vote for them, though.
Where do your grandkids go to school at? Do they live in the state of Wisconsin?
My grandkids don't go to public schools. I can tell you that.
Do they go to school in the state of Wisconsin?
Right.
Yeah, they go to.
Well, then they are impacted by DPI. DPI oversees every school. There's something called the state report. The DPI oversees the state report. There's also funding that DPI can give to kids to go to certain schools, to help support them go to certain schools. But DPI supports all that. They set standards. So, no, your vote, it does matter. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate you as always. That's it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The ENCs, again, your sons, your daughters, their children, it matters. And when we say, well, I ain't have a dog in the fight. Yeah, we always got a dog in the fight.
How hypocritical is it to call in and talk about other people's parents not caring, and then you don't care about your grandkids?
Right, absolutely. And Ricky Allen, this is no jab, but I bet you that all of the R&B Tuesdays was packed yesterday. I'm just saying. But they wouldn't pack the poll. They packed to line up to get J5s, ready to fight, shoot,
right, and
everything else to get some J5s. But we can't see that type of turnout getting up early on election day.
It's embarrassing. And again, this isn't I see you, Al, from Sherman Park on the line. We're going to get you on the other side. But the thing, this isn't just our community thing. It's abysmal across the state. But I'm going to speak to Milwaukee, because Milwaukee, we got to be better, because this was actually an opportunity to flex our voting muscle.
Yes.
Right. We could have dominated this. We could have absolutely dominated the outcome of who we wanted to be the state superintendent. Just like if we go out and we vote April 1st in droves, in big numbers, we can help dictate who is the state Supreme Court justice. And I'm going to tell y'all this now. We're going to talk about it over the next month. But y'all, me, you, everybody needs to do their homework about how important the state Supreme Court is. The state Supreme Court basically it can either uphold laws, or it can either stop laws that you disagree with. Like, that's what it comes down to. So 833-212-1017. The state of Wisconsin should be ashamed of themselves, Homer Bro, for the fact that we did not show up to vote yesterday, and y'all better show up to vote April 1st, or we're going to be stuck with candidates that we really didn't vote for. 833-212-1017. Al from Sherman Park, we're going to get to you on the other side. Make sure y'all watching Streamers Live on YouTube. That's 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. This is Truth to Power with Kyle Walls, with our guest co-host, Homer Blow, the legendary Homer Blow, right here on 101.7 The Truth.
More of Truth to Power is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. The award-winning 101.7 The Truth proudly celebrates Black excellence and the most monumental moments in our history. Tune in all month as we celebrate the voices, stories, and achievements that have shaped history and inspired the future. 101.7 The Truth's celebration of Black History Month is sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, College Bound, Character Strong, Educators Credit Union, Achieving More Together, the Freighter, and the Medical College of Wisconsin. Let's push ahead. And American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
People often wonder, what's the credit union difference? Well, let me tell you what's different about Educators Credit Union. We're more than just a financial institution. We're a team of people who are actively invested in the next generation and in the communities where you live and work. We're in classrooms teaching financial literacy, in neighborhoods building homes and relationships, and in local communities lending a helping hand. We believe when communities thrive, we all thrive. Educators Credit Union, achieving more together, insured by NCUA.
Life's better with American Family Insurance, because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 101.7 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axehousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
Coming with straight truth.
Because I don't practice saying stuff I don't mean. So what I'm saying is, we starting out the year with a lot of chaos. A lot of things going on around us. What I'm saying to you is clear the space to where, at least in your immediate space, you can get rid of a lot of the negative energy that circles in your space. Because a lot of times when you talk about stress, when you talk about not being at peace, it starts right in your own house.
Catch the Tory Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. It is Truth to Power on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and streaming live on 101.7 The Truth on YouTube.
Run it up, Blondo. Run it up, Blondo.
The award-winning 101.7 The Truth proudly celebrates Black excellence in the most monumental moments in our history. Tune in all month long as we celebrate the voices, stories, and achievements that has shaped history and inspired the future. 101.7 The Truth celebration of Black History Month is sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, Educators Credit Union, the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin, and American Family Insurance. Also, Truth Nation, our first annual Truth Community Awards is next Friday, February 28th, and we are almost sold out. We will be celebrating 10 individuals making a real difference in our community. Visit 1017thetruth.com. It's first come, first serve. Tickets are only $25, includes heavy appetizers, a drink, and a great time hanging out with our Truth family. You do not want to miss the best community awards event of the year. Visit 1017thetruth.com to get your tickets today for our first annual Truth Community Awards, which is presented by Potawatomi Casino and Hotel and sponsored by Community Advocates on Friday, February 28th, starting at 5 p.m. This is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I am Kyle Wallace, host of Truth to Power, and I'm joined by the legendary Homer Blow. How you doing, Homer?
I'm blessed, man. Just, man, we got to get up off our ass and vote.
We got to do it. We got to do it. Make sure y'all watch and stream us live on 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. Make sure you give a like to the show, but then also make sure you hit that subscribe button. But on the Truth to Talk to text line at 833-212-1017, Renee P. called in. She said, "Hi, Kyle. I didn't have a dog in this fight either, but I voted for Jeff Wright." And then she said, "My children attend," which you did have a dog in the fight, "attend a private high school, but I want all children, no matter private or public, to succeed, especially our black children. I voted at 6:30 p.m. and I was number 94. Shameful. Everyone needs to vote to give our black children a chance, especially parents of MPS." Listen, everybody has a dog in this fight. I just want y'all to know that. All schools in the state of Wisconsin, you cannot open up a school in the state of Wisconsin without approval from DPI. You cannot.
Right.
You cannot just say, "I'm going to open up a school." You have to be approved, right? Department of Public Instruction has to assist you with getting that approval for you to open up a school. So I just want y'all to know, DPI oversees the Department of Public Instruction because there's a criteria that you need to meet, and they create what that criteria is.
You got kids that go to daycare, learning centers, again, DPI. So that part, you got to understand that you're voting for them too.
Absolutely, absolutely. 833-212-1017. Al from Sherman Park, thank you for holding. You're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What are your thoughts about this election that we just had yesterday and the low voter turnout?
Oh, hi, Kyle and Homer. It was pitiful. I was sitting around the house debating, it's too cold outside. Should I go? So I got myself up, and I went out to vote for one race.
Thank you.
Went over to Sherman Park and Boys and Girls Club, where it represents children. And I get in there and I see my neighbor down the street. She was just before at 1 o'clock, I was number 3.
What?
And neither my neighbor or I have children.
Number 3 at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, I was at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And my neighborhood is pretty much balanced between families and seniors. So I'm just wondering if this was important to them. I just knew I could not live with myself if I didn't put up a fight against the teachers union, because the teachers union get Jill Underly in, they get Governor Evers in, and they were the ones that sat there and didn't tell us a thing about Milwaukee not getting their reports in until after the
100% true. That no lie told. I'm right there with you. I appreciate you calling in, but I agree. I am not a supporter of the teachers union because I feel like the teachers union too often, which their job is to support the teachers. But I guess I come from a place of it's always about the kids. It's always about other people, right? Like that's all. I feel like we put on this earth to give love, give care, support others, right? Like that's what it should be about. And so when I see that a lot of times the teacher union works in the best interest of the teacher because that's their job, but don't really care about the students a whole lot the way they should, it always disappoints me.
Man, listen, people like Felix C. on the YouTube channel said they're going to have to come with ads galore, radio, billboards, TV, everything. Listen, unfortunately, that's not going to happen. Because I've seen it happen, and we still have these low voter turnouts. They pick it all the time. They'll be like, it's going to be 8 to 10%. And guess what? Every time it's 8 to 10%. Whether I see yard signs out, mailers, and all of that, and we still, and we come up with these E&Cs, which I'm allergic to, of why that they chose not to vote. And it is literally destroying and killing our community. You can't keep talking about Milwaukee always. They said we the lowest in this. What are you doing to be a part of the change?
For real.
Man.
For real, for real. 833-212-1017. Alan, number 2. You're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Oh.
Hey, good afternoon. How you guys doing?
Doing all right, Alan. How about yourself?
Yeah, I didn't expect. Anyway, the reason I'm calling, I live over in Sherman Park on the north side, by Florist. The city. I'm white, obviously. My wife, all my neighbors are black. But this city is so dismissive of the citizens, man, of the people. Like, we vote these people in. We're like lambs, right? We vote them in to shepherd us, and all they do is lead us off cliffs. Yeah. They bring in people who look like my wife and my neighbors, and they're just flat out. All they do is line their pockets. It's sickening. It's just wrong. I went to vote. I vote every time. There's no excuse not to vote. I get over there and I vote at 8:15. I think I was over there by the Agape Center, and I was number 2. Number 1 was the woman who said, "Hey, where's your wife?" You know, they're always like that. "Hey, Mr. Beck, how are you, Alan?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm all right." And I was number 2, and I said, "What do you think it'll be?" So I went and picked up Ty at about 4, I think. She got off. She worked late, so she got off work. We swung by her. She was number 18. It's pathetic. Wow. It's pathetic.
Alan, here's
Downtown.
Alan. If you were elected, what would you bring to the office?
If I was, first of all, I got a felony from way back, so I can't be, because I've been going around with our older people here. If I was elected, what I'd bring to the office would be, first of all, transparency. Second, if I was going to be elected, I'd walk around. I'm an old white guy up here in this neighborhood. I can walk to every single door and get a signature. Why? Because I've done it. The city does not care what you do. They don't want you and I talking together, for one thing.
Okay, so here's my point.
They can't call me racist.
Yeah, here's my point, Alan. Here's my point. Wow. My thing is, if you weren't a convicted felon and you got in office, you're talking about everybody in there, all they do is get in there to line their pockets. So the point that I'm coming to is, if you're not and you're on the ballot, and these people still don't come out and vote, that's the problem. We've got people that are on these ballots a lot of times that are willing to make the change and stand up against the machine, but we don't bring our votes out to get them in there. So we wouldn't even put you in office, Alan.
You preaching. I guess with Alan, Alan said he's not racist, and I don't think ain't nobody called him racist.
No.
But I will say I've heard him on The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, and he was a former white supremacist. So, you could try to be reformed, but at the end of the day, when it come out, I'm gonna tell you this right now, I'm not racist. But when I see
get my vote.
when I see certain people doing certain things, like kissing dogs in mouths or something like that, a lot of times I say, ugh. Mm-hmm. And so, sometimes a little bit of my judgment comes out. I'm not racist. I just judge.
Or if you always have to point out that your wife is black.
Yeah,
man,
right,
that's a sign.
Well, why you got to point out your wife is black?
Most of my friends are black. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But shout out to Al. He's a loyal listener. I didn't call you racist, Al. I don't think you got to say you're not racist.
Yeah. When you feel like you got to prove yourself,
we ain't got to listen.
That's kind of a sign.
All white people are not racist. I can tell you that to be true. That is
absolutely.
But a lot of us are prejudiced. It is what it is. 833-212-1017. That is the Truth Talk to text line. Make sure y'all watch and stream us live, because I am joined by the legendary Homer Blow today on Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace. When we come back, we've talked about this education fiasco, or I shouldn't say education fiasco, I should say voting fiasco of people not voting yesterday for the state superintendent race. April 1st, that is the next election day. We will select who the state superintendent will be. Will it be the incumbent Jill Underly, or will it be her challenger, Brittany Kinzer? We need to decide that. But on top of that, you are going to start hearing a lot about Brad Schimmel and Susan Crawford, who are running for the state Supreme Court. Please start doing y'all homework and understand how important it is to have somebody who believes the same things that you do on the state Supreme Court, because they basically take up cases and people challenge to the state Supreme Court, and our state Supreme Court has a lot of power here in Wisconsin. So just do your homework. We have until April 1st. The 833-212-1017. On the other side, they say DEI is under attack, but I really just think it's anti-black laws that are under attack when it comes to what in the heck they're cutting. Yes, Donald Trump is threatening cutting dollars to schools across this country, whether they're whether elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, colleges, universities, all could see funding cut if they support black causes. We'll talk about that and so much more on the other side. This is Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on 1017 The Truth.
Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Truth Nation, get ready to celebrate excellence, passion, and the power of community as we host our first annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 28th at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. We will celebrate 10 unsung heroes of our community and roll out the red carpet for those making a positive impact every day. Tickets are selling fast, so go to 1017thetruth.com today to make sure you do not miss out on the biggest celebration in Milwaukee. Tickets are only $25 and include free food, free drinks, and free truth giveaways. Don't miss an evening filled with entertainment, heartfelt stories, and celebrating our city with the 1017 The Truth team. Visit 1017thetruth.com right now to buy your tickets to our Truth Community Awards. That is 1017thetruth.com to secure your spot for a night of celebrating the excellence of our community. The Truth Community Awards is presented by Potawatomi Casino and Hotel and sponsored by Community Advocates.
One call, that's all.
You heard that right. One call, that's all. Now it's your chance to be our One Call, That's All Gruber 5K giveaway entry for today. Yes, you can be entered to win $5,000 courtesy of Gruber Law Offices. Be caller number 10 right now at 833-212-1017. Yes, 833-212-1017. Be caller number 10 because only 10% of people got out to vote yesterday in the state of Wisconsin. You will be entered to win $5,000 with the award-winning 1017 The Truth in Gruber Law Offices. Again, that is caller number 10 at 833-212-1017. And always remember, if you or a loved one has been injured in an accident, contact Gruber Law Offices. And what I love about Gruber Law Offices is the simple fact that they provide the best care, the best service, and representation is their priority. And always remember, Truth Nation, there's no fee whatsoever, no cost to call them, consult with them, or retain them as a law firm, and you never pay a single penny until they win your case. Get with the law firm that has been serving Wisconsin for over 35 plus years by visiting gruber-law.com or calling them today at 414-276-6666. That's 414-276-6666. And I'm telling y'all, tell them Kyle sent you. Tell them the dread-headed brother from 1017 The Truth, Kyle, sent you. And David himself will say, oh, I know Kyle. Great guy. So I'm telling y'all this. Contact Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all with Gruber Law Offices today.
Prostate cancer screening is a simple blood test. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Your family history of prostate cancer increases the risk for all the men in your family. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Prostate cancer is most treatable when it's detected early. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Men, it's your life. That's why it's so important to talk to your doctor about getting tested. If you want info on how to take action, the Prostate Cancer Foundation is here to help. For more than 30 years, PCF, a leader in scientific breakthroughs, has funded cutting-edge research that speeds new treatments into clinics, helping patients live longer with fewer complications. Go to pcf.org to learn more about prostate cancer and how you can advocate for yourself. Remember, it's your life, and it's a simple blood test. Get it done.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
There are many times I thought, I can't do this. I mean, what parent isn't worried about? What am I not doing right? What am I not doing enough? And then I realized, wait, that's being a parent.
Don't worry about being perfect. I've had around 3 other mother figures in my life, but only one of them has taught me how a mother loves.
The greatest reward for me is he makes me better every day.
I would tell a family considering adopting a teenager that teenager, whoever it is, needs you, and they need what you have to offer.
Taylor's given me hope. He's our son, and that is what he will always be.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt U.S. Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. The 11th ranked Wisconsin men's Badger basketball team keeps on winning as they knocked off Illinois in Madison on Tuesday night, 95-74. The win marking the 22nd victory of the season for Wisconsin, who now improves to 22-5 overall. Staying with college hoops, the 16th ranked Marquette Golden Eagles also getting a home win on Tuesday night, beating Seton Hall 80-56.
And now stolen by Chase Ross. In from the right. He lobs for Lowry.
The Launch Brothers.
That might be, yes. The Rocket Brothers.
Yes, sir.
Yes, that one's going to be season highlight material.
With the win, MU improving to an overall record of 21-6. And lastly, over to baseball, where the Brewers teed off on their first full team workout on Tuesday. The first spring training game is scheduled for Saturday. The Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown team. Member FDIC.
You are listening to Truth to Power on 101.7 The Truth app, and streaming live on 101.7 The Truth on YouTube.
I just looked at my wrist, I got time today. Get them crossing the line today. The hate be so real, the love be fake. Be bumping their gums and bumping my tape. Don't go against me, they ask for my help.
I love this. 833-212-1017. It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. That is the number to get in. Make sure y'all watch and stream us live on YouTube. I am with the legendary Homer Blow. Make sure you watch and stream us live on YouTube and see Homer's shirt. He has a wonderful shirt. Legendary. Talking about a legend with a legend.
Luther.
Yes, Luther Vandross. Luther Vandross is on your shirt.
Man, had the pleasure of DJing him for him at the Bradley Center.
Oh,
was that the New Year's Eve show? It was Sounds
that was in the 90s.
Blackness, yeah,
and that was my parents had. That was at the Bradley. My parents had a suite to it. Was that in the 80s or 90s?
That was 90s.
90s. My parents, I think they had a suite at the Bradley Center for that. Cause I remember my mom told me about that.
Yeah. He had me a banner made. I still got the banner.
Dang.
And I got to see him during rehearsal and talk to everybody. So when I watched that documentary, you know, I felt like I was right there.
Oh, they showed it in the documentary?
Yeah. They showed documentaries, not the one where I was at, not from Milwaukee, but when he done his shows in the round, I was there at the Milwaukee shows for that, and yeah, man, it was just awesome.
Man, I that is somebody who is I love Luther. I grew up, my mom loved Luther, listening to Luther Vandross. I remember she told me the story about the fact that her sisters, my aunties, they got and some friends, I guess they got a suite, because suites were not back in the day. I mean, when you in the 90s when money was flowing,
right.
You could afford to do stuff like that in your 30s, huh?
Man, absolutely, man. So, yeah, he came out and spoke to the people when I was out there in the foyer DJing and all of that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was dope. Awesome. It was dope.
833-212-1017. Miss Shaq, you want to have a comment here on the low voter turnout we had?
Yes. Hi, Kyle. How are you? And Truth Nation. I just feel your passion, and I just want to support that and just say that thank you for, checking parents, because, they really need a wake-up call. But I'd like to say this also. The student enrollment at MPS is half what it used to be when I was working there. And I think that means that a lot of people are not voting because probably they don't send their kids to MPS anymore. And I think that we still need to speak to those parents, because don't you care about black education, though? I mean, at the end of the day, every black child should have equal quality education that any white child get in the suburbs. Point blank, period. And if this superintendent and the powers that be at MPS is not validating or valuing the intellectual potential of our black children, then all black residents of Milwaukee should speak up and step out. That's because what affects one child affects you, whether your child goes to MPS or not. Injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. Thank you.
Yep. I was my viewpoint that I was going to bring up, that I was happy when I saw LaShonda Davis on her YouTube page, said, for those that don't believe they have a dog in this fight, wait until those very children are robbing you at your black door due to an incompetent educational system. And that's the whole thing. So, you got a problem when you say, why was these 13, like the two 13-year-olds that were just arrested in a high-speed chase where they ended up injuring people and they found all kind of stuff. 13, two of them now. And this is after 10 o'clock at night. So,
my goodness.
Again, those kind of things like, where is the CLCs? Where are those kind of things that can end up helping to engage those children while you may be working 2 or 3 jobs yourself? Or the fact that it's somebody else's child. Now, you mad. Like, man, these little kids out here, they monsters, they this, they that. But you ain't concerned about, they should be in school, but yet you won't vote to make sure that they'll have the things and the necessary tools and the teachers being paid a good wage. I mean, man, you're going to have to pay me to be a psychologist and everything in a school because you don't get to just be a teacher. You got to try to be a guidance counselor. You got to be their friend. They're going to tell you some things, and you're a mandated reporter. So even though they want to tell you in confidence, you know you got to be like, yeah, well, she says she's being molested at home and this, that, and the other. They're bringing all of that. They come into school not dressed for the cold weather. They haven't ate breakfast. They haven't had a good night's sleep because of whatever might be going on inside the household. So they dealing with all of these different adversities, and we're feeling like we don't have a say-so on how these schools are funded and what needs to go in this direction and that direction.
And again, I think it just comes to the fact that I think we all just need to continue to educate ourselves that, again, private schools have a lot more autonomy because they are privately funded, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have their own boards, they have different things, but again, they still have to meet certain requirements such as hours of instruction that they have to have. So, like, they have a lot more freedoms, right? And health standards that they have to abide by. So they have a lot more freedom. And so, but they still, when it comes to if you want to have a child potentially get some type of funding, we talk about parental choice, right?
Right.
That also is something that impacts, and that's something that's on the ballot as well. And so we just need to understand that it is bigger than I don't have a kid here, because we all have a horse in this race when it comes to the education of the students here in Wisconsin. I take great pride. Personally, I take great pride in Wisconsin being one of the, when you look at everything, the grand scheme, Wisconsin is up there when it comes to overall, how they achieve and test scores. And so Wisconsin's a good state when it comes to public education and just education as a whole. And we have some really good schools here. So I take great pride in knowing that I'm out of a state like Mississippi, which is the bottom half, right? Dummies down there. So I shouldn't say that. 833-212-1017. I got family down there. They smart. But I know we want to talk about federal funding, but we've got some more callers, so we'll probably get to that on the other side. But before we do, Sherman, you're on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. What are your thoughts about this conversation?
Hey, how you doing? How you doing, Homer?
I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed.
Another element you probably don't remember. I used to call when you used to be on 860. Another element that we can do to help these kids is that you have people that's coming out of prison that can sit down and talk to these kids, but we have parents. I used to say it was the women, but you have parents now these days. Well, you're a convicted felon. You can't say that to my kid. You can't say that. Nowadays, what can we do? How can we add this part in life that sit down with some of these kids, like me myself being in prison, that can talk to these kids and say, let me tell you something. Once you go down that path, ain't no coming back. And even if it's a half a part of redemption, it's gonna be hard to get that. It's gonna be hard to get it once you popping pistols, stealing cars, breaking in houses, speeding up and down the street. Because if you get in a stolen car and you run somebody over, sometimes your life can end in just that spur of the moment. So whatever guilty pleasures that you want to do, sometimes you could end the rest of your life for just that thing. So is there anything that us as a convicted felons can do that can sit down and talk to these kids? But we need to get to the parents first, though. Well, that's all I want to ask.
Okay. In my opinion, you can have people that can vote legally vote for a candidate that will support. You get to go to meetings. You get to meet these candidates. You get to ask them the tough questions. You get to sit down and ask them the same question that you just said to us and find out where they're at, and have some people that are able to vote go and vote for you. Be like, look, you become the commercial. You become a walking commercial saying, hey, we need to support this. When they say they need somebody to pass out their literature, when they say they need people to man the phones, I can do that. I can do that. I can't vote, but there are things that I can do, and I can have and encourage other people that can to make sure that my voice is still heard. Now, those people that you elect, you can make sure that they're the ones that will say, well, look, we'll probably have to do it this way. We can say, parents, you got a choice of if your child goes into the program or not, but we do have a special program that we will have convicted felons come in and talk to the youth.
Homer, my take on this when it comes to education, and at this point, I'm gonna get Homer's thoughts about the federal stuff, but we're gonna talk about that tomorrow, Truth Nation. But my look on this is, I am very so much a hardliner. I look at life, sometimes I'm rigid. I look at stuff black and white, right? And I believe that we have to understand, and from my perspective of being in the education system for the time I grew up as part of education, so I saw a lot of different things, and I was really invested in. I heard a lot of conversations. Is that I think we need to understand that some kids are going down a path that is going to lead to them being incarcerated. Like they are legitimately are going to be in prison, right? And I don't think it's fair for the students who we all know, if you've been in a classroom, you know who the student is. I don't say quit on that student, but I don't think if you have a classroom of 30 students, if you have 3 students out of the 30 that are troubled, like severely troubled, distracting other students, distracting the teacher, taking away from the academic progress of everybody around them, taking away from the future of our community to be able to learn the way they need to in order to be positive contributing members of society. We need to find a way to hold those people accountable, right? And I'm not saying get rid of them. I'm saying there needs to be consequences where if you want to act like you want to be a fool, we take you out fine. You want to act a dang ass in school, what we're going to do is you're going to come out of class, we're going to put you at this other school where you're going to feel like it's a prison. I'd rather have you have a school feel like a prison where you go through metal detectors, you got multiple teachers in the classroom, you got security. I'd rather have you in a maximum security place that feels like a prison in a high school than have you actually be in a prison. Because what a lot of these kids find out is when they get around other crazy kids, they say, well, I ain't this crazy.
Right.
I need get me back to King, get me back to Riverside, get me back to North Division. Yep. And so I just feel like we just need to take a hard look at who do we care more about? Do we care more about coddling kids that are bad, or do we care more about making sure our kids are excelling and not having this opportunity and achievement gap being so large?
Absolutely, I agree.
833-212-1017. We'll wrap up this conversation on the other side. I love that y'all are so engaged today. We are going to wrap it up where I'm just going to have Homer give some of his thoughts about the federal funding that is threatening to be cut from a lot of programs that impact our black students. So keep it locked. This is Truth to Power with Kyle Walsh with our guest co-host, the legendary Homer Blow, right here on 1017 The Truth.
More of Truth to Power is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Life's better with American Family Insurance. Because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This monumental moment in Black history is sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, Educators Credit Union, the Frederick and the Medical College of Wisconsin, and American Family Insurance.
Orike Ogunbowale is known for her confidence and scoring prowess on the WNBA court, but she honed her skills right here in the city of Milwaukee. She attended DSHA High School, where she established herself as one of the best guards in the country. Orike will go on to gain national notoriety for leading her Notre Dame Fighting Irish to a national title in style. She hit a game winner to knock off the undefeated UConn Huskies in the semifinal of the Final Four, but she followed that up with hitting a buzzer beater to win the national championship in 2018, where she was named the tournament's most outstanding player. Orike will go on to continue her legend as she was drafted by the Dallas Wings and currently has a career average of 20 points per game in the WNBA. Orike Ogunbowale, a champion and the greatest women's basketball player to ever come out of Wisconsin.
Listen to 1017 The Truth all month long as we celebrate Black History Month. You are listening to Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app. Catch Truth to Power every weekday from noon to 1 p.m.
1, 2, 3, ho!
It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I am Kyle Wallace, and I am so fortunate to be joined by the legendary Homer Blow here on Truth to Power on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. And Homer, we have had a fantastic full conversation talking about the election, the low voter turnout we had yesterday, as only 10% of the voting population, less than 500,000 people got out to vote out of 4.7 million in the voting population here in the state of Wisconsin got out to vote for a state superintendent race where they see over $9 billion in the budget, and the governor just said they are going to potentially get up to $4 billion additional dollars to help educate students, and people sat on the sideline yesterday.
And the important thing about the numbers that you brought up, when you say that 4 point that didn't vote, these are eligible voters. We ain't talking about convicted felons. So we ain't talking about those people that don't have a legal right to vote. We're talking about we got over 4.7, was it 4.7?
4.7 million eligible voters.
Eligible voters that didn't come out and vote. Mm-hmm. Now that's, man,
that's crazy. Before we go, Homer, tomorrow we will be talking about, it'll be me tomorrow, but tomorrow we will be talking about Donald Trump, who recently, the Trump administration gives schools a deadline to end diversity, equity, and inclusion programs or risk losing federal funding. I just want to know, because right now what Donald Trump said in a memo that was sent by the Education Department gave an ultimatum to stop using racial preferences such as factors in admissions, financial aid, hiring. Other offices and schools are being given 14 days to end those practices. Homer, what are your thoughts really quickly on that?
Man, listen, I mean, you got to think about anything that is black related in those colleges and schools. They're talking about you got to stop that or we're going to stop funding.
Even at MPS, they got anything black related inside there. You got to stop it.
You got to stop or you're going to lose funding. And of course, we know that they're not going to let the money go. So, man,
yeah, we saw here in Wisconsin. Wisconsin got rid of they got rid of their initiative so they can get money for their engineering program. Remember that happened? Where the state legislator said, if y'all don't get rid of some of these DEI offices, we are going to not fund the engineering program, which helps attract students to the state of Wisconsin, which can attract talent to the state of Wisconsin that you can keep in the state of Wisconsin.
To the FAAFO population, this is what you voted for. That's it. I mean, we can't keep beating a dead horse because they voted for it.
That's exactly what they voted for, but we are going to talk about exactly how Donald Trump is blatantly being anti-black and being racist in the front of our eyes, and we are seeing the result of white men revolting in this country. If it ain't white, it ain't right, and we are seeing the absolute result of that. I will talk about that and give you insight on how schools are nervous about funding being cut to students that look like us at colleges and universities across this country.
I will see all of the fathers and the daughters at the 20th annual sold out Daddy-Daughter Dance.
Oh, that's happening again right now?
Center.
Oh, it's at the Bears this year.
Yes.
Wow.
And I've been involved with it for 18 of those 20 years. Daddies, daughters, princesses, I will see you on Saturday. Your musical conductor.
Daddy-Daughter Dance sold out at the Bears Center this Saturday. That's fantastic. That's Homer Blow, the legendary Homer Blow. I'm Kyle Wallace. This has been Truth to Power on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. The Tori Lowe Show is up next. Peace out. See y'all tomorrow.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple